Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of me just sitting on my bed with my socks on and saying stuff to a black screen. I hope you guys know that my videos are, story time, so they're meant to be on in the background. Like, have my video up and hit autoplay, just like, and then set your thing aside and move on with whatever you're doing currently. So yeah, today's story is going to be about the time I stole a package. Now, today's story time is not really that eventful. Uh Mainly because I don't really have a ton of stories, but as time goes on and more opportunities happen, I will get you guys a lot more content. But moving on. Today starts off like me. I woke up, I got ready for school, I went to school, sixth period, I decided to get out of there. And it was with Jason. So, me and Jason, we leave school again, leave the premises. So, this time we end up having nothing to do at all. Like, zero, nada. So we head out to around his house. Yeah, like behind his house, there's this park area. It's right next to the mill. There's a mill where we live. Uh, yeah, that's not important. So we're at this playground. We're swinging on the swings. We're talking. We're messing around. Uh, and that's what we're doing for a long time. We're just talking. Eventually, this other family shows up with their kids. It was kind of awkward, and we were debating on whether we should get down or like we should go away, right? So this one's also going to be a short one. So we're scoping out this. So Jason spots this dude who is like bending down under this clearly, like it's a parked truck, but it's clearly been there for upwards of a couple years, upwards of like 10 years, just sitting there to rot. It's like rusted down. It's a red car. It's a red truck. It's a red pickup truck, like from the 2000s. So it's it's like rusted, and it has like no wheels at all. It's being suspended by cinder blocks. So we watch this dude bend down under the truck, and we see him put something down there. So we're like, dude, this is the chance to go steal from this dude's stash, because that's what we're thinking at the time. We have nothing to do at all. We're looking for anything to do. And we're sitting here and we see this guy bend down and reach his arm under a truck for no reason. Obviously that's reason for suspicion. So we go over, we see him doing this a couple times, and we're like, the more he does it, the more we're confirming it. So like he does it a couple times and we're like, dude, this has to be the case. But how are we going to make sure for sure that it's that without going up to it? So eventually we we're like, okay, so there's this sidewalk, or this, no, it's a road, and it's like, it's small, right? So it's like a pathway leading up to a road. So, and that's right in front of this dude's house where the truck is and stuff. It's like a clear shot. We could probably see it if we go up there. So I suggest that to him. So I'm like, dude, we can go along this path, and as we're passing, we can like we could eyeball the truck. We can see what's going on with it. And so we decided to go up there, and we're walking past it. The grass is too tall. Like, it's covering where we think it would be, because it's like the grass in front of it is big enough to hide something, you know? Like, it's tall enough, it's covering the underside of the truck. Not completely, but it's covering the majority of the underside, and it's just grass. So we can't see nothing, and we decide if we spin back around, that's too suspicious. Like, if our plan was, if we saw something, we would go over there, we'd run over there, we'd snatch it, and we'd dip out. But that ended up not being the case, because there was, you know, nothing. We didn't. We suspected that there was something under there, but it'd be kind of weird. It'd feel embarrassing to us if we went up there and reached our arm in there and pulled nothing out. Like, we did that for no gain. It'd be kind of an L. So we decided against it. So we're walking. So we're walking further up the road. We're like, okay, are your parents gone? Because the reason we didn't go into his house was because his parents were home. Right? Like, we were walking around the, like, school, around the normal road we take when we're skipping, right? So we're walking up that road and we have nothing to do. He's like, we'll go to my house because my parents said they would be at work. So we walk up to his house. So it's like 30 minutes. We walk up to his house, and his parents are there. So we're like, that's a bummer. And that's why, that's the events leading up to us going to the park and doing all that. And that's the reason we didn't go into his house, because, his parents were home. So we had nothing to do. We left the park. We can't go back there without it being kind of suspicious. I don't know. We're just paranoid. But anyway, dude, I'm sipping on this limited edition marshmallow Coca-Cola. No sponsor, though. I'd be dope as hell, though. But anyway, we we walk we're walking past his house kind of slow. We're seeing if his car is still there. Um, so ends up his they're still there. So we're like, okay, what if we just walk until it's, appropriate time to be walking in there? Because at this point it was 3:20. That's when our school gets off, but we would have to wait an extra 20 to 30 minutes before we could go inside, because then it'd look suspicious, because it definitely takes over 15 minutes after school ends to get there. Like, 10 to 15 minutes, that's if we're running. 20 minutes if we're walking. And if we're walking really slow, we're walking and talking, 25, I'd say. I don't know. But still, we so we're walking past his house, and his neighbor, right? There's this package on, like, an Amazon package on his porch. So I run up, or like, we're walking past slow. Like, we're taking one step every, like, 3 seconds type slow. And it's not even that long of a distance. Like, we're walking really slow. We're scoping it out. And, like, he's like, dude, you should go up there and take it. What do we got to lose? I'm like, you know what? You're right. So I walk. He continues walking the normal pace. He's like far away. Like, I walk over near that porch. I'm looking around. I see two dudes perched up on their truck, like, with their arms folded, leaning against this white Ford. I'm assuming. But I go back to him and I'm like, dude, people are watching, and and he's like, dude, just take it. So I run back up there, and I just pick it up and I book it towards him, or towards Jason. So Jason and I were sprinting at this point because we're like, stuff's running. We got adrenaline, so we're running up through this place, and now there's this path that leads into the woods behind this behind this fam or no, not behind this Dollar Tree. There's this wooded area where it's like it looks like it used to be a pond, but it wasn't. It was like full of dead grass. So, and it was like as tall as me, and I'm like 5'10". So we walk through this path that we normally take to get to the woods, and we get to this back point near this next to this fence, and he's like, dude, we got like, we're gonna, just on the safe side, we're gonna kind of do a little change in clothes. And he told me to take my hoodie off because I was wearing a pretty noticeable hoodie. It was like a, bl- a bright blue Menards hoodie. So I took it off, and by the way, we opened the package and it was just like a girl's shirt. So we hid it under some leaves. Now I took my sweater off, and he folded it up in this tarp, and then put the tarp over the box. So it looked natural because there was just a tarp there. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, and then he flips his shirt inside out because on the outside there was text. So if you flipped it inside out, it would look like, just a plain black shirt. So that's what he did. And so he was like, yeah. So we're departing at this point, and he's like, okay, the deal. If you get caught, I wasn't with, or if you get caught, I wasn't with you. And if I get caught, I wasn't with him. So yeah, we went separate ways. We dapped up, and then we went separate ways. I went back to my house, and he went back to his house. I'm assuming. I don't know. But it's whatever. I hope that's about the end of the story. I still haven't retrieved the hoodie to this day. He said he would bring it back to me and give it to me during school. It hasn't happened yet, and I haven't retrieved the hoodie, and I don't even know if it's still there. But I hope you guys did enjoy that story time. Wasn't that eventful, but yeah. See you later.